game. The Cowboys are leading 24-9. The Raiders are a bad football team.
Man.
This is what I've concluded after one half of watching them play on Monday Night Football.
Yeah,
Their
they
offense is in a bad way. But you know what? And they've had offensive line problems, Matt, pretty much all year long. But the new-look Cowboys defense is, I think, giving you – well, let me ask you. Are they giving you what you expected?
I don't know. It's so hard to tell because the Raiders are so bad.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about it right before we came in here. They don't have any wide receiver threat whatsoever that you fear. There's nobody to stretch the field. They can't get any type of push on the offensive line. They don't have a quarterback. Geno Smith is missing throws. He's horrible. Feels real skittish in the pocket. They've only handed the ball off 3 times against one of the worst run defenses in the NFL, so it's hard to know, are the Cowboys better in the middle against the run? I have no idea because the Raiders have truly – Geno Smith has 1 scramble, and they have 3 handoffs to running backs in the first half. I have no idea if their offensive line or their defensive line is better.
Yeah, Geno Smith sacked 3 times. He's dropped back 32 times with 1 carry, 3 sacks, and 28 pass attempts. And I don't know what the hell they saw on tape or what just made them decide to just drop back and run. Now, it was working a little bit early when they had the play action and the misdirection.
Man, they were biting on that, weren't
they?
As
they were, yeah. The Cowboys' defense was just kind of going off speed. And Geno Smith can find some open guys down the field, but they just can never cash in. It's that typical bend but don't break, and you just see this Cowboys defense playing a little bit faster. Quinnen Williams definitely making a difference on the defensive line for sure. You've seen Ravel and Logan Wilson in the game and Overshown, and just kind of getting that new look defense in and try and test it. It feels like it's the perfect opponent to do it against because the Raiders just aren't good, man. They are not a good offensive football team. They don't have the outside threat whatsoever. Their biggest threat is their tight end, and he has 4 catches for 58 yards, but they just haven't really threatened as far as putting the ball in the end zone. So the Cowboys have held defensively. And on offense, I think after a slow start, we've seen them kind of get back to what we know the Cowboys offense to be.
Yeah, and this is, again, we talked about this all week long. I mean, the Raiders are average on defense and really bad on offense.
Yeah.
And so you're seeing a really bad offense against what we thought was a really bad defense. And the Cowboys have bent, but they haven't broken on defense yet. And the Raiders have had opportunities. They just haven't been able to capitalize on them. So I think that says something to the Cowboys. Quinnen Williams is very noticeable out there. That is an obvious presence on the defensive front.
No doubt.
But the flip side of that is the Cowboys getting those opportunities on offense against an average defense, and we're seeing what this offense can do. And for the most part, they're doing whatever they want to do. I mean, George Pickens is tearing them up. CeeDee Lamb's is tearing them up. I think Javonte Williams has a couple of 10-plus yard runs on the day. So everything you would want to see from this Cowboys offense, you are seeing against the Raiders here tonight.
Yeah, they're averaging about 5 yards a carry. Pickens and Lamb, they have 9 catches between them for 156 yards and 2 touchdowns. So two touchdowns. So 9 of the 13 completions from Dak after a slow start, even a turnover from Dak as he held the ball a little too long. Max Crosby got him fumbled. The defense played that complimentary football that they've been looking for pretty much all year long, holding the Raiders to only 3 in that possession. And then the Cowboys just go down and use their last 4 possessions to go and get points and lead at halftime 24-9. I just can't see a scenario in this to where the defense would get a little lackadaisical or lazy and allow the Raiders to come back in this thing, man. That offense, especially if they're going to continue to drop Geno Smith back, they've got to try and see if they can run the football. You're down 15. That's not too bad, but for this Raiders offense, it might be a little too much.
Yeah, we'll find out coming out of the half. The Raiders get the ball. It feels like if the Raiders don't get a touchdown on the possession coming out of half, and the Cowboys, it feels like they'll get points of some kind, and that's going to end the game. It feels like it's teetering on the brink of being over, but it's hard to say it is because, as you pointed out, 15, so technically you're still just 2 scores down.
Yeah.
But if the Cowboys defense holds the Raiders again coming out of half, it's just hard to believe with the way that we've seen this Cowboys offense operating that they're not going to be able to get points of some kind, get 27, get 31. They get to 30 in this thing. The Raiders aren't getting to 30.
No,
that's not happening. I don't think the Raiders are getting to 24.
Yeah, they haven't gotten to 30 all year long.
Right.
They got to 29 in that loss to Jacksonville, but other than that, it's just 24 has been their high, and then they had a couple of games where they didn't even score. So this is not a good offense. And, yeah, you see that if the Cowboys get to where they are right now, you find you have to squint really hard. You have to get the no-line bifocals like me to see if the Raiders can get to 24 points. But, you got another half to go. And I will bet you they're pretty pleased at what the defense is throwing down right now, especially on that defensive line with Quinnen Williams. It looks a little different. You see that they really aren't bringing a lot of guys in pressure. The one time they brought 6 guys, they had man-to-man coverage in the secondary, and the Raiders completed it to Tyler Lockett for a first down. So it's like, all right, if you can get that pressure with 4, Geno Smith is going to hold the ball, and if you're playing coverage like you should, then it's going to be hard for him to find those windows. And Kenneth Murray finally drops back, gets his hand on the ball, knocks it up, and Marquise Bell gets the interception. So sometimes when there feels like that they're just reacting to what's in front of them and not being proactive, they go out there and make a play. So good first half for the Cowboys offensively and defensively, 24-9. Don't forget to listen to the postgame show afterwards. We will get a call from a couple of members of the Hardline as they are at this game right now. They are in Vegas, and we'll hear from them on the postgame show. And make sure you tune in. Thank you for tuning in for halftime, and enjoy the second half. It's the Cowboys leading the Raiders 24-9, and we will see you on the air after.